Hi everyone, welcome to the Lenovo W540 review. So the Lenovo W540 is a workstation. It sits above the T540p. It's more aimed at professional users such as 3D artists, engineers. The difference between the T540p and the W540 is that this one can have up to 32 gigs of RAM, while the T540 can have up to 16 gig. The other difference is the graphics card. This one has a quadro graphics card, which is more aimed again at engineers, people who do 3D work. And the T540p has a consumer GeForce card. So looking at the design, it's typical Lenovo IBM design. It has this matte finish over it, which is pretty nice. The build quality is pretty good, it's pretty solid. The chassis is pretty solid too. The screen hinges are okay, not the sturdiest and not the weakest. For the back of the ThinkPad, it's pretty well built too. It's all made of that hard plastic. So here you have the storage, so you can put an SSD or a hard drive. And here you have your 4 RAM slots. Here you have the Wi-Fi card. You also have an M2 slot where you can put either an SSD or you could put an LTE card here to have cellular data. On my model, I have a fingerprint reader. There's some models that has a screen calibrator, so it can check ambient lighting and calibrate your screen for you. Okay, if we look at the ports, headphone jack, SD card reader, 2 USB 2 ports. One of them can be used to charge your phone or any device while the computer is sleeping. So it's going to be this one. VGA, Thunderbolt 2, your charger port, Ethernet port, 2 USB 3 ports, and a CD player. Here you can also put a hard drive if you want to, but you have to change this part to get a hard drive caddy. And that way you can put an SSD or a hard drive if you want. Port selection is good, I would say. Everything's there. Battery life is average. So this is the 9.2 amp battery. I believe it's an extended one. So it can last about 4 hours and a half if you do very basic stuff. If you start watching YouTube videos and use some intensive programs, it can last around 2 hours. It comes with this charger, which is pretty big and heavy. The speakers are okay. Unfortunately, there's no bass whatsoever. There's some mids and some highs. It has a Dolby Digital enhancer, which can make the sound seem 3D in a way. So here's what the speaker sounds like. For the W540, there's 2 types of screen. There's a 1080p TN screen and a 3K IPS screen. Now, if you have the choice between the two, I would go with the IPS one, that's for sure, because the TN one is horrible. The viewing angles are very bad, color reproduction is very bad, and if you're doing any kind of professional work, you're gonna need either the 3K panel or you can swap the TN one for an IPS one, which is what I did. So on this one, I have an AUO panel, which is around 100% sRGB, which means color reproduction is very good. I can use it to do photography work, video work, and the viewing angles are very good too. As far as brightness goes, it's not the brightest. It goes at 250 nits, but I prefer the screen by far than the TN panel. The keyboard is pretty comfortable. The typing experience is pretty good. There's a fair amount of travel on the keys, and it's pretty solid. You have the function for brightness and volume on top. You have some shortcuts here for a calculator, to lock the computer, to open your web browser, and to open File Explorer. As far as for the trackpad, the original trackpad that comes with it is very bad, in my opinion. It makes a lot of noise. There's no buttons, so if you're gonna use a track point, it's gonna be really hard. And it just cheapens out the machine. So I swapped it for this one, which is the one from the W540 At least this one is pretty good. It's pretty smooth overall. Feels good to have some buttons, and it makes the computer have a more premium feel. And it only costs $20. You have to fiddle around with the drivers to get it to work, but it's 100% worth it. This machine has a 2.4 GHz quad-core i7 4700 MQ processor. It's a quad-core processor, so on this model you can have either a dual-core or the quad-core version. The dual-core version will only give you 16 gigs of RAM, and the quad-core you can go up to 32 gigs. The graphics card on this one, as I said earlier, is a Quadro graphics card. The one that I have is the K1100M. So this card, it's not really a card for gaming, but more for 3D work, doing some CAD rendering. Gaming wise, it does the job. It's average, but not very powerful. Just general use, it's pretty responsive. As you can see, I just opened Chrome like that. Just took 2 seconds. My hard drive's almost full right now. I don't have an SSD on this one. Browsing is pretty fast. Overall performance is good. You can work on Lightroom with no problem. You can use Photoshop with no problem too. As far as video performance goes on YouTube, it's pretty smooth overall. Now, some things I don't like about this laptop. First of all, is the fan noise. It makes a lot of fan noise, and it's not like it's constant. It goes up and down. It gets annoying after a while, especially after watching just simple YouTube videos like 1080p videos. You can't even concentrate anymore on the video, and just like regular use, the fan just starts running, and like it can get annoying. Another downside is the weight. I would say like on the heavy side, it's around 2.5 kilos, so it has some weight on it, but it has some powerful components, so I can understand. So my final verdict is that the Lenovo W540 is a good machine overall. It has good build quality, performance is good for its year of production, and if you change the screen, it's well worth it. I also have a tutorial on that, so you can check it out on my channel. If you can stand the old trackpad, then go for it by all means, but if you change it, it's gonna help a lot. So overall, it's a good solid computer, good performance, reliable, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and thanks for watching.